Welcome to the Chamber's Weekly Buzz, and we've got two great guests today. We've got Dee Whitley, who is an attorney with Battle Winslow, Scott & Wiley, and he's the Vice Chairman of Public Policy, and Morris Wilder, who is working as a consultant in finance for the Chamber, as well as heading up the advocacy efforts. Let's take a look at some interesting things going on. Our show is proudly brought to you by Roger G. Taylor & Associate Financial Advisors, and it's brought to you to communicate some of the great things being done by our Chamber in the Twin County areas. Let's take a look at some recent events.
Hi, I'm Teresa Pinto, President of the Rocky Mountain Area Chamber of Commerce, and I just want to say thank you to all of our members in the community for the support throughout the years. Today we're down here at the train station celebrating 108 years with our Founders Day celebration. We have hot dogs and chips and ice cream and soda, water. It's a great time, and we just want to say thank you again for your support, and we hope to see you throughout the year at several of our events coming up, and I hope next year at 109 we issue the challenge. We're looking for somebody to eat 109 hot dogs. We'll give you all afternoon. You got to eat 109 hot dogs. So thank you and enjoy.
And we are back with Dee Whitley and Morris Wilder. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm extremely interested in what y'all are going to talk about, because I've known that we've had a division of public policy, but the advocacy that the Chamber does behind the scenes, often on behalf of all of us, not only Chamber members but our broader region, is really important, that we've got people looking out for us. And Dee, let's start with you. What does it mean that the Chamber has an advocacy group, or through the board we advocate?
Well, what the board tries to do is it understands who our membership is. It understands what the Chamber's mission statement is, and so they're sort of our clients, okay?
And I like that, because you're a lawyer, so we're getting, that's free stuff here.
That's exactly right. And then we look to the decision makers, whether those decision makers may be in Washington, D.C. or Raleigh or here in Rocky Mount. And we do our very best to take positions and put forth what is going to be in the best interest of our membership when we deal with local politicians, state and national politicians. Just recently we've had Senator Richard Burr right here in this very room, and we were able to share with him the concerns and questions that the local membership has. We have had occasions in the past where we've actually taken a delegation to Washington and met with Congressman Butterfield and met with the Secretary of Commerce and things like that. We do the same thing in Raleigh. You may or may not read a newspaper article about those things, but those are things that we're doing, and when we meet with those people, we're saying, listen, here's where the business community in Rocky Mount is, and here is where we're struggling. Here's where we need some help. Here's where we need some understandings for you to explain to us why the positions you guys take are supposed to be in our best interest. And so that is the truest sense of advocating for our clients, or in this case, our membership.
And I often hear that if people speak up, and especially with the body of the chamber behind you speaking up, Morris, it makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's the whole concept of advocacy work is to talk to people, get their concerns, their ideas about various issues or policies, as Dee said, maybe coming down from a national level, maybe a regional level, or state level, and be able to help them educate themselves as well as educating us as a chamber that represents those businesses to create a larger voice, to, again, help move that policy in a direction that's beneficial to our membership.
And I want to add to that, the chamber is a great opportunity for people to get involved and have their voices heard. There's a lot of people out there, especially business people, self-employed businesses that have very strong feelings. You know, they know what they know, and they don't think there's any two ways about it. They are always welcome to be a part, not only a part of our membership, but to be sitting at the table, so to speak. And if you will come and participate with the chamber, I think a couple of things happen. First of all, you see the diverse mix of the membership that is the chamber, and you realize that not everybody has the same aspect or angle on issues, and so you begin to perhaps understand and see some things that you would not have otherwise seen. But in addition, we don't close anybody out. If you want to volunteer and be on the board or be a part of our membership, or even on the executive committee, if you'll become a member of the chamber and you'll stick with it, we don't turn people away, and sooner or later you're going to find yourself having a seat at the table in some form or fashion, and you can participate, and that is better than just sitting out there and complaining or taking the position or having the feeling that people are not really looking out for you and are not taking up what's in your best interest. So you can do that with the chamber.
And that segues very well into what some of my responsibilities are going to be, working with Teresa coming in as the new CEO, is to build a group of those interested individuals that want to be part of what advocacy is all about, and they have those interests and they want to sit down at the table and help plan the long-term strategy of what this chamber in this area wants to get accomplished in this particular area. Again, it's a networking situation, it's relationship building at the state, regional, and national level. The chamber has done it very well over a number of years.
And educate, because y'all have got the time and the interest, maybe not you with the day job, but the chamber has provided you. Well, this is part of your day job,
Right.
though, to collect, to educate. Because so many people don't have the time and they actually don't know where to go to collect all the information. And if you just sit and let things be done to you, as opposed to proactively go after things that are in the best interest of the community, it makes a big difference.
And sometimes the individual, the businesses, the guy that's working in his small business every day doesn't necessarily have the time to go out and educate themselves and read all of the mundane information that may be out there to get to the real issue. And that's something that we want to bring to the table between myself and the group that we're putting together. How can we disseminate that information and get it out to the membership in a way that's truly meaningful and time-saving for them, but at the same time get the issue on the table?
Another example of that is the chamber's website, and that's one of those things where if you don't know about the website, if you're not a member of the chamber, you may not know about the website. But the website can be both a tool for people to use. It also can be a source for resources for businesses to use. The website is really surprisingly good, and it's a website that I have never laid eyes on until this year when I came a part of the the leadership of the chamber, but having now been introduced to the website, you know, it can list business opportunities, it can list job openings, it can give business owners an entree to people who may be customers of theirs or potential customers. It's just another opportunity that's out there and available, and it's for free. You just got to take advantage of it. And
like you said, with the job opportunities, members can list their jobs that are available and get it out to a huge, 10,000 hits a month, I think the chamber's getting, so a lot of visibility there. Morris, I noticed too that y'all have polled through the last few years to seek, let chamber members vote on different issues, right?
Right, that seems to be a better role, I think, for us to go out and seek that information from the members, because, you know, the last thing I think you want to do is to take a stance or position and a member say, well, you didn't ask my opinion. So the best way, again, is an education. Give them the resources via the website to go and seek out the information. Again, try to digest it down so they get to the real meat of the issue. But then, again, helping them to educate themselves and then giving us back their again, an educated opinion at that point about that particular issue. And then we take that and give it back to the community at large. This is how our business community feels about a particular issue.
And the last time we did polling, it wasn't just a matter of voting yes or no. You got to do that, but you also got to leave some comments. And we'll then take those constructive, helpful comments, okay, and pass them along. And so, unlike going to speak up or leaving comments on the Telegram's website, which certainly has its role to play, our website, when we solicit comments, you know, we're going to take the comments, pro and con, on any particular subject, and we're going to pass them along. Again, whether it is to the Rocky Mount City Council or to a local business here in town, or whatever the case may be, you not only get to vote, but you get to leave your comments, constructive or otherwise, and we'll pass those along.
And we've got a stronger vote because of having the strength of the chamber and the business community behind us. We're going to take a break. Hold that thought.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
We are the past,
present,
and the future leadership of your Chamber of Commerce.
we are business members focusing on new beginnings, boldly creating our Twin Counties future.
members working toward broader thinking, community reinvestment, and public policy supporting strong business.
We are partnerships that create new beginnings.
We are business and community leaders working together for a better tomorrow.
And this is my time.
Thank you for staying with us. We're with Dee Whitley and Morris Wilder. I'm really learning a lot. I have known that the Chamber works to advocate for the business community, but I think it's really important for people to know, and let's say somebody has an issue that's really been kind of bothering them in their business and want to see if they might be able to get it on the table with the Chamber for some help. What should they do?
Well, I think the first thing they should do is look at our leadership. And, you know, while Teresa Pinto is a wonderful new addition to our staff, she's the executive director, at the same time, we view, or I view, our leadership as being Lige Daltrich, and he's the president. And that presidency changes hands every year. But I give a lot of credit for last year's President Jeffrey Batts and this year Lige Daltrich for the amount of time that they are putting into this. And you know, this whole year, Lige Daltrich, even though he's got a business to run just like we do, he is going full bore with the Chamber, and he takes phone calls from everybody, and he does a wonderful job. And so I hope Lige is okay with this, but you know, you can pick up the phone and call Lige Daltrey, and if you've got a chamber question, a Rocky Mountain question, he'll answer it. In addition, we have board members and we have an executive committee that I am on. And both the board and the executive committee are meeting once a month, and they are discussing any issue that needs to be discussed. And if you've got a legitimate question and a legitimate concern and you need some help, you can call Lige. You can look on the chamber website and see who is on the board. And I'll bet you that there is somebody on the board that you know, that is a neighbor or a coworker or somebody that you deal with in your day-to-day business, and you would be comfortable. I know this guy, I know this girl, I'll call this person and I'm going to put something to them. And they'll bring it to Lige, they'll bring it to the chamber leadership, and you'll get a response, no question about it.
And
Good.
that contact information is located on the website for those individuals.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit more, Morris, about advocacy, the benefits of it. What type of issues, quality of life, economic development, what are you addressing in particular? What have y'all done so far?
Well, all of those things will be on the agenda. Obviously, economic development and jobs is the hot topic in any community today. Education, workforce development, I think what a lot of people don't know is the amount of work that we have already done that will be accruing to the benefit of the future and the future leaderships of the chamber in education and bringing together a focus on the Twin Counties. Along with the Twin County visioning process, there's also in the works a education visioning process that's underway. The STEP process that was really, you've got to give kudos to Ken Anderson at Cummins Engine to really step forward about a year or so ago, and not to get into the details of anything specific, but has really done a tremendous job in pulling that STEP together and funding that. So that's a huge thing that's going on that probably most people don't know about, that we're involved with.
And I want to interject, would not have happened without the chamber's leadership. I mean, that was Ken Anderson's role on the board that created a heightened awareness to him. He saw an organization that he could trust, the chamber, to help facilitate some of that. So there are lots of things going on that people don't even know about.
And we just happen to have Reuben Blackwell on the chamber board as well, and those two people together had a synergy that made that happen. Absolutely.
Vice Chair of the Education.
I shouldn't have forgotten Reuben. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
But those two gentlemen have worked tirelessly on that particular effort. Another thing that I've done, being here as a transition consultant, is to reestablish our connections with some of the regional offices. The North Carolina Eastern Region of Economic Development has a Chamber of Commerce arm that works within that region, which we're a part of, and to reestablish connections there and get back involved with their advocacy work, which is what the Chamber arm does with that economic development, as well as reconnecting with the North Carolina Chamber and getting to know people there and getting contacts in place, attending some of their functions. And again, it's a relationship building process to really get the consistency in the advocacy work that we need going forward. And that's part of the role that I'll be playing, you know, helping under the vice chairmanship of Dee. And as we roll into next year, you know, try to get that strategy, that long-term strategy put in place as to how this advocacy thing is going to really work.
And let me say this, in terms of the Eastern North Carolina area, you know, the problems and the challenges that face Rocky Mount are no different than they are in Kinston, Goldsboro, New Bern, Wilson. All of these cities east of I-95, they're all looking at the same problems. Rocky Mount is not entirely unique by any stretch of the imagination. And so those are the kind of organizations out there that, again, we're dealing with behind the scenes, but you know, the problems that we face are the same problems that these other towns face, and let's not reinvent the wheel more than once, and let's get together with those types of organizations and let's use what they're doing to our benefit.
And the strength of numbers too, I think, helps as we've lost some of our representation because of changes and shifts in population.
That's right.
We need to work together.
And we took a group to Kinston for a legislative get-together over there that was put together for a regional basis. Those legislators that represent 16 or so counties that make up that eastern region. And we did that. So those are things, again, like the trips to Raleigh, trips to D.C. I think you also have to address the regional issues that are important to us as well.
And by linking with even the North Carolina Chamber, then that brings more clout too and more strength when you talk about we're clumped together with groups. Goals for the future, any that you haven't addressed that you want to mention? I guess throughout the year you'll continue people can call, anybody on the board, tell them if they've got issues they want addressed.
Well, I think the biggest thing for this year is to build the group, again under Elijah's leadership and Teresa's leadership, to help them, aside from their day-to-day responsibilities, is to try to take my time and again try to pull together a group that's really interested in this type of work for the chamber and for the community at large, not just the chamber. Also try to create a long-term strategy that builds in the consistency of what we do and how we do it. And one of the things I know we can't go off the air without saying is we're working very, very hard. As of today, phone calls are being made to try to bring a gubernatorial debate to Rocky Mount, to bring one of those debates and focus on eastern North Carolina and showcase Rocky Mount. And I think we're making some headway. I think we got a good shot at that. I really do.
Well, thank you for what y'all are doing. I think it's important that we all find out what's going on often behind the scenes on our behalf, and this is just one more example of what the Chamber is doing to help make this community not only better today, but to look toward the future. So thank you.
Thank you, Gene.
Appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
We are the past,
present,
and the future leadership of your Chamber of Commerce.
we are business members focusing on new beginnings, boldly creating our Twin Counties future.
members working toward broader thinking, community reinvestment, and public policy supporting strong business.
We are partnerships that create new beginnings.
We are business and community leaders working together for a better tomorrow.
And this is my town.